know what they want, but then they still like to play the game, pretend like they want.
The chase is definitely enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. Once he gets what he wants, then you're gonna see a whole different dude.
While I was in the police department, he messaged me like, stay loyal with like a kissy face, like.
Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Don't even trip. We got you. What's up, y'all? It's back on Don't Trip Podcast. Here with your host, David, and we have actually, a recurrent guest star now. Yes. Miss Alexa's in the building. You want to say hi to the people real quick?
Hello, everyone.
We are in beautiful, sunny California.
Laguna
Beach. And we have the regular Don't Trip questions for y'all today. We got questions from y'all, the fans. Let me not move my mic around. You see we're in a little different setup if you're watching the video, so I got to be a little bit stable with it. But Alexa's got some answers. I posted saying we wanted questions that are a little girl oriented. So we know you guys like getting a female's perspective. So here it is. She's going to give us the best advice that she's got. We're going to chop it up a bit and just talk. Oh, she has a great story for us to hear, actually. So that's going to come soon for y'all. Yeah, but yeah, the pressure finish. No, it's okay. She's going to make it sound, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But make sure y'all tap in on all accounts. If you got any questions that you want us to answer, go ahead and DM us. Make sure you follow Alexa on all her stuff. Keep up with what, I'm sorry, the view is crazy. Maybe I'll turn the camera at the very end and y'all can see what's up. Yeah. But it's kind of wild out here, but it's a blessing nonetheless. And is there anything, actually, since it's been we interviewed, that was like last summer or last winter or something?
Yeah, I think it was like a little less than a year ago, I want to say.
Wow. So, okay, so update, what's been going on in your life? What you been up to?
A whole lot of traveling. I just got back from Europe for about 3 weeks, we were talking about.
Okay.
Other than that, so I think I still was doing my own podcast when we filmed. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that one currently, but I'm in the works of doing a new one, hopefully.
Okay.
But yeah, as I also mentioned, I do a whole lot of sitting here on this couch.
Yeah, I would also do a whole lot. It's a big couch. It's very comfortable, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to stay awake. But, and I got some fancy water. I would show y'all, but I don't think if the water sponsors me, then I'll show y'all. But it's a good water. It looks fancy, but we got a lot of nice stuff out here. But we're gonna get straight into the questions, okay? So you remember the catchphrase?
We got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She knows. Okay. All right. So the first question is: when a girl says she's not ready for a relationship, does that mean that she's not ready for one with you? Don't trip.
We got you. 100%.
100%.
I think it goes by like the same for men as well.
Okay.
But if you say you're not ready for a relationship, it's normally because you don't see it with that person specifically. I think when you meet the right person, no matter where you are in life, you usually can make it work out with them, because if you really care about someone and you really like them, then it should just mesh and it should just flow.
Okay. So do you think once someone tells you that, you think you should like fully back off, or should you like try? Because when you try with someone and it kind of changes it up, be like, oh, maybe I can be in a relationship with this person, or like they see a different light of it.
I think for girls it does make a difference. For me, if someone becomes my friend and we get close as friends, I can change my mind for sure.
Okay.
If I see that you care about me as a person, it definitely can change my mind. The other way around, I think if a man says he's not ready for a relationship with you, you can't change the mind.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I agree with you in some aspect of it, but I think like as a guy, if I say I'm not ready for a relationship, yes, actually, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. But it's not that it's not that girl specifically. It's just that like I haven't like you said, if you stick around longer, if I get to know you better, if I see like the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Like if you cook some great meal, that's great, and I might change my mind. You treat me like a king. It's like just a different vibe. It's like changes your whole mindset about things.
But so you're saying is you're gonna tell her you don't want a relationship, but you want her showing up to your house cooking dinner for you, being wifey for you. See, I'm the only reason I'm telling her that is so that there's no misconceptions. Like I need to be straight up with you. I'm not ready for this relationship. Like you can do what you want, but and women, if you're doing this, I don't really advise it. That you, like you just said, if some guy says he doesn't want a relationship, unless you're really trying to work for it, like be like, I don't care what he says, I'm gonna work for this, like till it's an absolute dead no, or I find another guy, then okay, maybe. But if you're just treating him like a king when he's not exactly your boyfriend, then that might not be the best. Might not end well.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people do it because they do think they can change minds, and a lot of people think they can just work with what they got, and it works sometimes. I'll give it to you. Like, there's definitely been girls that have changed my mind. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, like yeah, most girls, because whenever I do meet a girl, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to jump straight into anything. I'm like, I don't know you like that. I don't really want you like that at this moment. But the more I got to know them, the like nicer they were, when I saw brains, whatever, it's just like, wow.
See, that's usually how we would think.
Yeah.
I think for guys, other than you, from what I've heard, like boredom, entertainment, or like it's actually a fun game. I have no clue.
A fun game? I think...
I'm bamboozled pretty easily though,
Okay. No, I do think a lot of guys, the chase is definitely enjoyable. I'm not going to lie. Like to have something within your reach and not be able to grab it, it's like you want to go get it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's necessarily knowing what you want exactly, but it's just seeing potential. You feel me? So it's like this girl has the potential to be someone I could actually see myself with versus someone you talk to and you just like don't get along at all. You're not attracted and like they're disrespectful. Like just a bunch of different combos that you just don't think you can get with.
I mean, it makes sense. Normally, I can tell right off the bat talking to someone if I vibe with them or not, but they also could be just playing a game and saying what I want to hear, doing what they think I would like.
Exactly.
So that's the confusing thing is like you just don't know if someone is what they're portraying. So you gotta give it some time, see if they keep acting the same way, if they're consistent or not.
Exactly.
Because when you're playing a game, when do you usually give up?
Shoot. When I know I've lost, for sure. That's when I give up.
But how do you know when you've lost?
In a game?
Well, I guess you said you don't love bomb, but just let's say you're telling this girl all she wants to hear. She's just like putty in your hands. You haven't slept together yet, though.
Yeah.
But she's thinking you guys are going to be the cutest little couple running off into the sunset.
Uh-huh.
At what point do you give up?
Because it's too easy.
Okay.
Like that type. Yeah, I think when I realized like it's just too perfect, I guess, or like it's not like there's nothing wrong. I feel like if there's nothing wrong at all, then there might be something wrong. Like it's just like it can't. There's no way it's genuine enough that we don't disagree on anything at all. Like if I have someone who, like I want a woman who can. I think everybody should want a woman who like holds you to a certain standard. Mm-hmm. So if I'm messing up and I'm whatever, and it's always like it's okay, like let's get by it, blah blah blah. But she doesn't like help you grow and help you evolve at all. Then I think that's the give up point. I'm not saying like you should go look for someone toxic to make it hard all the time.
But also, I'm saying in the aspect of you're playing a game, you don't actually want to date this girl.
Oh, when do I give up?
Yeah.
When do I give up?
When do you stop bamboozling this woman?
Honestly, it depends on the dude. If the dude's an actual genuine guy, then it'll be pretty early. But if he doesn't care about anybody, he's not going to stop until you stop giving him what he wants.
Yeah, or you hook up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Once he gets what he wants, then you're going to see a whole different dude. Like it's going to be attitude change, time change, or whatever. So that's just kind of how it works. You got to kind of, I guess it sucks that you have to actually go through that in order to see what the real dude is. But
yeah, you just never know. Like a lot of the times too, I still don't know if they were actually doing it like out of the goodness of their heart, or if they, sometimes, a lot of times I do figure out that they were not out of the goodness of their heart. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you never know.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, actually, you had a question. You mentioned it takes a lot for you to sleep with somebody, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, someone asked, do you think celibacy actually offers clarity?
Yes. So I had like a little over 2 years of celibacy.
2 years?
Yeah. And
good job.
I know. And during that time, I actually learned more about myself. I grew as a person. I stopped letting men treat me so shitty because I was more clear. And a lot of the times I would be talking to someone for a few weeks or whatever, and we'd like sleep together. Mm-hmm. And I would get false feelings for that person. And I would let them do things I normally wouldn't let slide when you're talking to someone because, I already have that emotional connection with them. But once I was celibate, that's when I started like weeding out more and more people, and I was seeing what their true intentions were because I wasn't having sex with them. Yeah. And I had no time frame on how long I was going to go without having sex. I did not think it would be that long. I just had it in my mind that when I had an emotional connection with someone, when, I thought they were a good person and actually cared about me as a person, I would. Okay. And it just didn't happen.
Yeah, so it just never happened. Well, I mean, I feel like the clarity was worth it though, because it sounds like you grew a lot and like you realized a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
So okay, what about in a relationship? If you were dating somebody, like, would you ever like? I've heard couples kind of like take a break to see how they can like function without any extra stuff.
I've never.
Like in a relationship.
So boyfriend, girlfriend.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Let's stop having sex.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think I could do that because in a relationship,
Yeah.
I have to have sex all the time.
Okay.
So I think it's like when I'm not having sex, I'm okay not having sex.
Okay.
But once I'm with someone, I think it's really important that you do want that.
Okay. But don't you think that would be a good test then? Like, okay, so say your boyfriend's the
you
same.
want vacation or something.
Okay. Then that's your time
Like
to.
if I'm home visiting my family in Indiana, okay, that's our break.
That's our break. I think if you set like a timetable though, like so no, 2 months, like we're not doing anything.
Okay.
You would have to like, it's different than if I'm going on a trip, like, okay, obviously we can't do anything. But like if I set a timetable, like 1 month and a half, you're gonna be like, dang, can I like really make through this? Or like
hanging out with them regularly.
It's the same. You're dating. You guys are sleeping in the same bed if you want to. You're doing everything that you guys usually do. You just can't do nothing.
Okay, no sexual acts.
Nope, nothing at all.
Have you done that?
I haven't, but I haven't, but I've heard people that have, and it like not broke their relationship, but they realized a lot of stuff in their relationship. Like they couldn't just talk if they were arguing, because some people just have sex when they're arguing. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're having those issues where you're not already talking about things and you realize that you are relying on sex instead of, your emotional connection, then that could help. But I'm really big on like, if I have something on my mind, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I can't just sit there and hold it back. Like I will speak what's on my mind. So yeah, maybe we'll have sex, but then I will be like, okay, so this is what's going on with this.
Okay, now that that's over with, let's get to the serious matter. Okay. So celibacy offers clarity. Huh? Yeah, that'd be kind of wild. The whole relationship thing, because I've seen a couple people do it, but I don't know. I think I could do it. I think I can do it.
Stuttering, you're like,
whoa, hold on, ignore that look. I think I can do it. I can do it for sure.
Yeah, okay.
But it would definitely be a test, and I think you would actually come out stronger from it. I feel like it would be similar to just being celibate and not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I am if I'm newly dating someone. Obviously, I don't have sex with them until I know for sure.
Yeah.
Like the last guy I dated, like we didn't even do anything until he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, you've already had time to build the connection and have the talks that you should have.
This is true.
But I guess if you've been dating for years, things, people just kind of fall out. They don't treat each other the same way. Then maybe withhold the sex and talk.
See, talking is crucial. Figure out communication without having to do all that extra stuff. But okay, so next we're gonna hear a little story, because we are in a beautiful house. And apparently the windows are just all glass. So
apparently he can't see.
I don't know what upstairs look like. I don't know what we're talking about. But Alexa was telling me about a story, so we're gonna share it real quick about a stalker. So
yes,
what happened?
So I'm gonna try to condense it as much as I can. But around Valentine's Day, I had just gone back from a trip home, and I had a girls' night here.
Okay.
And over here, obviously, you can see it's glass, and then the like game room kitchen is glass as well. But I had a bunch of girls here. We're just having fun, doing whatever. And I didn't even post this on my social media. And then one of my friends was leaving at like 9:30 p.m. and there was like random gifts outside.
Yeah.
So I look on my camera and the person was like kind of wearing reflective. I couldn't see their face. I don't recognize them, whatever. And then a few days later was actual Valentine's Day, and I had a 8 a.m. workout. So I come down at like 6:30 a.m. and there was 2 bags of gifts, like flowers, like a bunch of stuff outside my door. And I'm single as fuck. So I was just like, well, that's weird. So I text my one girlfriend, because she had just been over the day prior. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And like, I didn't fully read the card, but I glanced at it and it said something about meeting at a park. And her and I were talking about doing a picnic in a park the day prior, standing right here.
Oh.
So that's why I texted her. I just brought everything inside. I glanced and it was like all my favorite things in there. And I was like, okay, it's my friend, whatever. Well, as I'm driving to the workout, she's like, that's not me. And I'm like a little panic mode, and I look at the cameras, and it was a man dropping him off at like 3 a.m., middle of the night. Yes, I have cameras all in the house.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Safe, yeah.
And I at this point, I had to end up going to the police, because the note was like asking me to meet them somewhere, and it was just like, it was really weird. I'll show you the note. I still have it.
but it was all my favorite things, and it was just like a weird coincidence. Like my favorite, I love red grapes, like candy, like pink flowers, teddy bears, everything. And then every few days, like new things were getting dropped off. And at this point, I was going to Laguna, like police department. They couldn't really do anything about it because we just had like some random person on camera. But then I noticed I've been getting, I don't really check my Twitter DMs, but I get emails, and I kept seeing the same name pop up like a lot. So I finally look at the messages, and I actually was like sitting right here. I got like sick to my stomach because it had been going on for like a while, but there was hundreds. And then him saying he was outside my house waiting in his car. I'm trying to like think of like the important nitty-gritty detail, like saying, come outside, I'm waiting for you, like thinking that we're dating, like I'm his girlfriend. He was living out of his car. He was like, I guess he worked for a like Instacart, and he was like, I have to go take an Instacart order, but I will be right back. Like always waiting outside for me. And like I live in like a nice area, like I don't pay attention. And so I'm like freaking out a little bit. I'm like, this is scary. So I finally go to the police department and show them, I found out who this person is. We look him up. It's not looking too good. And he, I guess, after a while, this went on for a while. Like he kept bringing me stuff. There was a point where I was sitting on the couch right here, and I heard someone coming down these stairs. And Ava, my friend that's here right now, was with me. And I was like, there's someone coming down my stairs right now. I'm not expecting anyone. Like I hid. She didn't hide. Saw him. He blew a kiss
to her
at the camera. And literally immediately messaged me. He's like, I saw your friend, like whatever. I was terrified. I'm literally right here. While I was in the police department, he messaged me like, stay loyal with like a kissy face. Like he constantly was messaging me nonstop, like fully. He didn't live here.
Mad weird.
Well, as we find out who he is, I find out he had went to my dad's house a week prior to coming here. My dad does not live in the state of California.
Oh my gosh.
Was like manically talking to my dad. My dad was like, I thought it was just some random tweaker. I don't know. Like we didn't know at the time. And so then I was like, hey, this is actually an issue. Like he's not leaving me alone. He's been coming to my house. Now it escalated to every single day, middle of the night. He sent me videos like outside of my house, like a bunch of things. So the police department finally got a hold of his mother, and his mother, he had told his mother that him and I were dating, and that we communicated telepathically. And
he's schizophrenic.
He like knew, it was just like weird things, like mass, messaging me and whatnot. So they finally told him to leave me alone, and then he started just like tweeting a bunch of like sketchy things. Like it was just a huge ordeal, and I was like scared to be
anywhere. That's
like
actually crazy.
I was hiding in my room with like the curtains closed. At one point too, my friend called me and she's like, where are you right now? I'm like, in my room, and I had actually been looking out the window. And my friends were like keeping up with his Twitter for me. She was like, he just tweeted like, baby, you look so good right now. And I was like, oh fuck. Like it was like to the point where I would not come down here at all. Like I would just hide in my room, or I was staying with friends. My dad came into town. I like stayed with him in a hotel. But after a few times at the cops, like he kind of slowed down. It did. The last thing happened, was just chilling here, and all of a sudden like cookies showed up to my house, which if you know me, I love desserts. Cookies. One of them was like a butter cake cookie, butter cake is my favorite dessert, like weird. And it said like from daddy, and then had his initial. So obviously it was for him. So we had the cops come and stuff. But as of now, actually no. Right before I left from Europe, a day before I left, someone, and it was right outside my camera, so you can't see anything other than a hand, placed flowers and a teddy bear. But it was a learning lesson for me. I'm definitely on high alert now. I used to, I know this is bad, but like I used to not always keep the door locked if I was just coming in and out. Now my door's always locked.
Every single time.
I'm always on edge, like looking for cars on my street. Like it was really, really traumatizing.
That sucks. Like you can't even live a regular life. That's like,
it was just crazy.
Carefree.
And I don't know how he found me. It was like he had been messaging me on Twitter for like 2 years, but I went to my dad's house and then came here. And then he was also messaging me about like taking me back to Vegas with him, weird stuff.
So they can't arrest him for that?
No, because he didn't physically touch me. Scary.
We were talking about, I don't even know if this falls into it, but we were talking about me and Jay on an episode about guys being entitled and stuff like that. and just thinking that they can do whatever, talk to whoever, or the girl kind of has to like them back or talk to them back. And it's just like, I don't understand what goes through your head to think all that, and it's just not okay. But
yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he's just mentally unwell.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he gets the help he needs far away from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than him though, like, I do agree with what you're saying. Like, men think like, I want that, I have that, it's mine, and us girls have to be like, okay, yeah. Whatever you want.
Do you think you were ever in a phase where you were like, okay, yeah, whatever you want, versus now?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm a really nice person, but I'm also like a very like high maintenance little princess. So
that'll do it. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, as long as you get what you want. I feel like I've always been like a huge advocate of like finding someone. Like, I get trying to change somebody or whatever, but I've always been a huge advocate of finding someone that does give you everything you want, because like you can put up with stuff or like kind of deal with people that don't do that, but if you actually want to be happy, there's like no rule that you have to stay with someone that doesn't give you everything you want.
yeah, because someone else will.
Exactly, somebody will find the way to give you what you want. So.
Yeah, no, actually I lied. When I was my first relationship, when I was younger, I did let him do whatever he wanted, but obviously now that I'm older, I realize if someone's not giving you what you want, there's a million other people out there that would love to give you what you want, and it may suck and it may hurt to move on, but you'll be fine in like a month or two.
Actually, give it a month or two.
Yeah,
you'll be good. And
give it an hour.
You'll be good, but the guy won't be good, because he's gonna realize, he's gonna be like, dang, I should have given her this. I should have done this better. He might grow from it, but like you said, someone else has already given it to you.
That's what happened with my ex, actually.
Really?
Like, after I got over it, he was just not over it, and I'm like, sucks, buddy. Once I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't recycle.
Okay, I don't recycle. That's a good rule. What's it? Recycle is crazy. I'm not running it back. Hey, then she's on to the new. She doesn't. Okay, I like that. Okay, we're back to the questions. The next one is, why are women more emotional thinkers than logical? Don't trip.
We got you. Okay, so lately I've been dealing with the opposite. I've been dealing with men that are more emotional than me.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that going?
I think a lot of women have. I've seen it everywhere that lately men want to be the princesses, and that's our job. And it's like they are the emotional little babies.
Yeah.
But I think you guys like to pretend it's still us as the emotional ones.
Okay.
Or maybe it's because we just express our feelings easier and maybe we communicate a little better normally.
Okay.
I think maybe men see it as you're not masculine if you're expressing what you're upset about.
Yeah. I think I am more of a logical thinker, because some things that like girls do just doesn't really make sense. Not girls.
I want an example.
Some things that people that are emotional do doesn't really make sense to me. For example, this is a bad example, actually.
I want to hear it.
Let me think of a good example. For example, dudes that like buy 24 roses for their girl, right? Their girl's like, okay, that's like cute, that's emotional, like I like that, whatever. But logically, I'm like, what are you gonna do with 24 roses? Like, why? Why do you need 24 roses? I get it makes you happy, but like you're gonna probably like it's a girl who doesn't even like flowers, a girl that doesn't use them. They're literally just sitting in the corner the next day. So I'm like, logically, why wouldn't I just get a dozen roses instead of like doing way too much?
Okay, I get that, because I used to be the type where I'm like, I mean, flowers are beautiful. I love any kind of like, if it's a light pink flower, oh my God, love it.
That's it.
But they do die quick, and it does just sit there, and it is pretty. But I think it's the idea of getting, it's like a thoughtful thing. If you know her favorite flower, her favorite color.
Yeah.
But another thing is get her like food.
Food?
Yeah.
I can get behind that one.
Yeah, like that's just better.
Okay. And then it's just like, I think it's more of like a relationship aspect, because the logic versus emotion thing. Like if a girl is not okay, like logically, okay, here we go. It's I'm fine.
Let's go.
It's I'm fine. If someone says I'm fine to me, logically, you just told me you're fine. Like that's cool. I'm gonna follow that. You just said I'm fine, came out of your mouth. But emotionally, I should be able to kind of tell that the vibes are off or whatever. But as a girl, I'm sure if I said I'm fine, then she'd be like, no, what's wrong? Like, explain, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, so I don't necessarily get why it becomes an emotional problem when logically you said, I'm fine. For me.
So you're the type that when a girl's like, I'm fine, everything's fine. You're like, okay,
Cool.
Cool. Peace out.
You said
Have a great day.
You said it.
Okay, I'm not the type, like I said earlier, if something's on my mind, I will say it. I would love to not be like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's mainly people who, because it's not just girls, guys do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's people that aren't emotionally mature.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. If you are emotionally mature, you will be able to express your feelings, how that person's making you feel without being scared, you know?
Uh-huh.
I think people that say, I'm fine, they either want you to beg figure out what's wrong, or they don't know how to tell you what you did. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, unless you did wrong, probably.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to be save an argument, save or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
it makes it worse in the long run, and you need to address what's wrong, because if you don't and you bottle it up, it's just going to explode one day and be 10 times worse.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Because I feel like we might actually give like two different things of advice. Like, okay, here's the actual emotion versus logic thing.
Okay.
So some guy or girl comes up to us and asks us a question, and it's like, okay, my boyfriend did this, like, but I still have feelings for him. What should I do? I feel like the majority of guys would be like, what do you mean he did that? Like, get rid of it. Like, it's whatever. But the majority of girls would be like, oh, you still feel some type of way about it. Like, you should try to work it out with him, blah, blah, blah. And be like, no, he did this. Like, break up with him. Like, that's, I think, a lot of the logic versus emotion.
Yeah, I think, not to say to my own horn or anything, but no, I think I'm a mix of the two.
Okay.
Especially when it's not involving me.
Yeah,
but you can kind of see both sides. So depending on what the guy did, can you give me an example for like what something a guy would do?
Yeah. Okay.
Other than cheating.
Other than cheating? Bet. So say you are he was disrespectful to you in public.
Like verbally?
Yeah,
or
like he was like, no, like he wasn't listening to you, wasn't giving you any time of day. Like he was just like, no, just listen to me, do this, and it kind of sets you off the wrong way.
Okay, so if it's a one-time occurrence, he could have been having a bad day. Something could have went wrong. You don't know, with his family. You just don't know. So I don't think for any kind of thing other than cheating, I don't think a one-time thing you should cut someone off, because you just never know. Someone could be having like anxiety that day. They could be really sad about something that day and kind of take it out on you. If it happens all the time, it's a regular occurrence, then obviously no. You got to leave.
Okay, so.
Would that, I don't know, is that a logic?
No. I think that was a logical answer. That was a logical answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is based off the question. If girls are more emotional, it'd be more like, no, like you need to see why he did that time and blah, blah, blah. But if you kind of gave him already a bunch of different chances and told him that's something that you don't want to do with, then logically, like he's not fixing it. So you need to dip out.
He's not going to change.
Yeah, so.
You can't force someone to act a certain way.
Exactly. Okay, we have one more question that we've talked about kind of on the podcast. Y'all probably heard it. I want to hear Alexa's input on it. That question was directed to me, but we're going to flip it to you.
Oh, God, okay.
It's not bad. Okay, so who comes first, or what's the order that they come in? Your father, your significant other, and your son.
This is really hard.
Yeah.
You're not gonna like my.
Let's hear it.
Actually, I don't have a kid, so that's hard.
No. You have a kid. That's the situation.
Okay, so, your kid first.
Okay.
And then my significant other.
Okay, so Pop's on the back burner.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, Dad.
How come the kid comes before the significant other, though?
Because the kid can't take care of themselves. They need that emotional support. They need someone to be there for them and help them become the best version of themselves.
Okay.
The significant other should already be doing that for themselves. They shouldn't need you to rely on. Like, the kid needs a parent.
Okay. So what if, say we're in like an argument situation and you have to pick sides? Like the kid wants to do something and you said the kid can do it already. But your significant other's like, no, like we need to do this way. Whose side are you taking?
So it's like the kid's like, I want to go to Disneyland, and the significant's like, no?
More like, I want to get a tattoo, and the dad's like, no.
How old is my kid?
He's not old enough to get a tattoo by himself.
But I said yes already?
Kind of. You guys, you didn't talk to your husband about it or your significant other about it.
I think That is a little risky because since I got a tattoo so young without my parents' approval, I think you should wait because you can change your mind.
Okay.
You know, like that's something that I would choose my husband's side with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I think I like actually, here's the scenario that was like more like presented to me. It was more like if your wife needs time and your kid needs time. So say that like you're just hanging out with them and you're giving your kids more time than your husband. Do you think that's okay then? Or your significant other? Like
all day, every day, all the time?
Yeah, like you're just more, it's more, they're getting a lot more love than your significant other.
Oh, no, I think you should. I feel like some days, yes, but all the time, no, because then that's just going to hurt them in the long run. Like, I would be kind of sad if my husband's not giving me any attention any time of day, because then that's when people are more likely to stray.
Yeah.
They're going to find someone that is going to give them attention and their kids attention.
Okay, so would you, in your shoes, your husband,
okay,
who would you like, would you be okay with your husband choosing your kid over you?
For like all the time?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, like whether it be taking him to school instead of, or like hanging out with him overnight instead of date night, or shoot. The ultimate question is that I'll eventually get to, you and your kid are hanging off a cliff. Who do you want your husband to save?
Oh, the kid.
The kid?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know, because then I would have to be really sad and depressed knowing my kid died, you know?
Versus you're just gone.
Being dead.
being dead.
That was a selfish reason.
That was okay. No. I feel like that's understandable. I feel like any good.
And the kid has more life to live, you know? At that point, I've probably already done a majority of what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. But I think some people would be like, no, I'm going to lose my. Some arguments for this was that you can always pop out another kid. So like. Yeah, that's not the best argument. I don't think.
Not.
But also for the husband over the kid, because some people pick their kid over their husband. They're like, you had the kid, but you can always have another husband.
Yeah, I mean, both would be terrible.
Yeah.
But you said it's between me and my kid, not my husband.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, obviously, still the kid, because unless the kid's like a serial killer.
He's the one who put you over the cliff.
Yeah, if the kid did it, then it's time to go, buddy. But other than that, I think you should always save the kid.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. And then I feel like most people, I'm capped. I'm capped. Most people put, I don't know if it'd be the same for dad, but most people put the mom first. Like your mom comes before everyone because that's who birthed you, that's who raised you. Like they should come before your or your significant other and your kid.
But your significant other is your family that you choose to spend the rest of your life with, and at the end of the day, you live with them. You're with them every single day. Yes, your parents are your parents, and you love them, and you should, have them in your life, but not every day, all day. Like especially if you have kids, you know.
And I think that's
to be together.
Exactly. I think a lot of parents like groom you for that. Like they're trying to get you to be ready to raise your own family, and I think that's like when my answer is significant other, kid, then mom, because like I feel like how I treat my significant other and the stuff that I see, like it would be a daughter. No, I'm just saying, like in this scenario, Princess like would see me treating her like loving my wife so much that like literally nothing could come between us unless she was obviously in like intimate danger or really, really needed me or something like that. Like that's what she's gonna expect from her husband in the future.
Yeah, that is a valid answer. Yeah.
So I think it does depend though, because some people like grow up without anything except for their mom or dad. So like they're like, okay, mom and dad are like number one. Or some people like all they have is their significant other, or they were mistreated as a kid, so they want their kid to be the most important thing to like realize that. So
yeah, and like if I didn't have to choose, I would like us to all be equul.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
I don't want my kid being treated better than me because I stated I am a princess.
Heard it.
But I think as long as the kid is being taken care of and it's at a happy, healthy home, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's facts. Okay. That was our last question for today. So we hope you all enjoyed this episode. If we're ever back in Cali or if someone visits New York, then we might hit up another one.
I love New York,
I'm trying to. We got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff in our lives. Jay is apologetic that he can't be here right now, but he's a working man, so he's got his 9 to 5 to handle, and he's got to pay the bills. But thanks for tapping in. More episodes coming soon. If y'all have any guest stars you want to see that I can reach out to, we do some online episodes, even though they're not as good. personally, but they're still good. We get to meet some new people and make new content. Make sure you tap in with Alexa. Go follow her stuff. The new podcast might come soon. If not, then just enjoy whatever else she got going on. Her big lives. But that's about it. So make sure y'all don't trip.
We got you.
Yeah.
Bye.